YouTube Nation, Me Event TV, aka Me TV, aka it's time to separate the weak from the strong today. I'm telling you gamers, because this divide is getting worse and it seems like it's affecting all of us. Now people are coming out and saying, oh my god, now all this is affecting me. I'll explain later. Guys, we have a lot to get into. Thank you for, watching the show. Thank you for sending me the information, and thank you guys for the letters that you sent, because a lot of you guys sent me a lot of letters. I haven't gotten to all of them yet, but your concerns on the video game industry, and actually I will answer some of that today. Hopefully I'll get to that. I mean, you guys stepped up big, all right? Especially with this gamer divide thing. There's a lot of messages that you guys sent me. You sent me a lot of links, and just reading conversations on forums of other places to see how things are acting. This is getting out of hand, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So today's show is brought to you by Saga Frontier. That's right, because the saga is going to go on. After this news, it's going to go on and on and on, and we have to stop this, guys. It's getting out of hand. Gamers, please, if you are a gamer, listen up today. So let's get into this right now. I want to start off with Sony, all right? Because Sony, once again, has lied to their fan base. That's right. It seems like that's all they do these days. Now, let's get into this, because for those who don't know, Sony is going to bring PS2 games to the PSN. Alright, I know a lot of you guys are happy about that, but understand this. The PS3 was supposed to be doing this in the beginning. Now, if you had an old PS3, you could play PS2 games, and they said, oh, well, with the Slims, or certain models, we just gutted the feature so that it would be cost effective. And a lot of gamers thought that was bullshit. They said, no, that has nothing to do with it. You can put it on your network, and you can still do this. Well, PS2 games are coming. However, they will not support trophies. The games won't support trophies, which isn't a big deal. That's not a big deal, all right? But the games aren't remastered. They're not upscaled, they're not remastered, and for what I'm hearing, there's no reports about this being coded differently. So pretty much, you could have played PS2 games for a very long time, and they're just now rolling it out. So they lied to you, all right? Now here's the thing. A lot of people who have PS2 or physical PS2 games got screwed in this process. Did they not? So it goes to show you that Sony doesn't care about their actual games, or you playing their games. They just want you to pay for them again. They are lying to you. I understand the lineup is coming out. It's like, okay, you know what? It's great, but understand what's going on here with Sony. Now, I will say this. If you have PS2 games or you want PS2 games, go get a PS2. Go buy a cheap PS2 and go buy games used. Seriously. However, if there's a game that's probably hard to find, then I would say by all means, get it off the PSN. All right? But guys, understand they are lying to you. They pretty much pulled sheet over your head on this one. Now, I also want to get more Sony news, because for those who don't know, there's an online pass for Uncharted 3, which is bullshit, all right? Because first off, they're trying to say, well, it supports, it's for multiplayer. Who the hell plays Uncharted for multiplayer? Seriously, I'm not trying to hear that. Uncharted is about a single-player experience with a tacked-on multiplayer. Uncharted 2 had multiplayer, and people complained before when they saw it. And then when they played it, they was like, it's not that good. And guess what? It wasn't that good, all right? I played the co-op and finished the board. I think it took me 30, 45 minutes maybe with a couple friends. And then that was it. I played adversarial mode once. And then I walked away from online because I don't need it, because Uncharted is about the single-player experience. That's what it's about. Don't try to sell me this, Sony. You know what, Sony? I went from having a day one buy from Uncharted, because I have the other two Uncharted. I love them. It's one of the best franchise this generation for me, all right? So this was automatic day one buy. Then when you come out with the online pass, I pulled my pre-order. That's what you did. So you forced me to pull my pre-order because it's bullshit. It's out of principle. Like I said, guys, I have not bought a used game in about 8 years or so. So let's get this straight. What I'm going to do here, since you want to act like asshole Sony, I went from day one buy to now possibly buying this used. Possibly buying this used just to fuck you over, all right? Because that's exactly what you just did. You screwed with the gamers. This is what happens when you use these stupid, unethical practices to try and get more sales. This is bullshit. This is bullshit, all right? But that's not all. No. Anyone who read, their Twitter feed, they're having contests now that you gamers can win DLC for Uncharted. And I got on them about it, because I was like, why should gamers have to win DLC? Why should they? All right, the game's not out yet. You made it during regular production. You're just milking people. That's what you're doing. It's bullshit. And of course, I didn't get no reply, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit, all right? But that's not all. Since gamers have sat here and defended Sony and defended Sony and defended Sony, the rest of us are saying, it's not right. And there's even some of us that are saying, you know what? I may just abandon this whole, this whole ethic of it's not right, and just because it's a game I want. You can't do that. You can't, all right? You got to stick to your guns. That's what it means about being a man or an adult. And responsibility. If you believe in something, you stick to it regardless. I don't care what favorite game comes out. You can't say it's wrong and then say, oh, it's wrong until my favorite game comes out. You can't do that. You can't do that, all right? But I'm going to talk about this because all of Sony's future titles will have online passes. All their little multiplayer games will have online passes. This is what they're doing. Gamers, you have helped. I shouldn't say gamers. I should say half-ass gamers who are just I shouldn't say miseducated. I say uneducated. All right, misinformed about how this works. Yeah, because of you guys, you just helped them push a new standard. You really have. And it hurts all of us now, all right? And like I said before, this is not about being poor. This is about principle. Like I said, I haven't bought a used game in God knows how long, in years, all right? So it has nothing to do with that. This is about principle. This is about what the companies are doing, and you help them do it. And now I've been seeing on a lot of forums, all those people who said, well, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect me. All those guys who said that, yeah, now they're saying, okay, well, now all these games are going to have it in the future. Now it affects me. What can I do? Well, it's too late now. It's too late. That's the problem. You're selfish, and you waited. Man, I'm telling you, you hurt us. You hurt us with your selfishness. It's pathetic, and I'm very disappointed in gamers to see this go down. However, in more news, that's right, in more news, people, let's get this straight, all right? Origin account bans, man, are being threatened for Battlefield 3 if you play on modded servers. Now, I told you before, this whole Origins account, when you start signing up and you give EA power, they can ban you for anything. Anything. We saw that kid who was banned from EA games for just speaking bad about Dragon Age 2, just for speaking bad about it. They'll ban you for anything, all right? But modded servers, I understand. Bioware, and more, I have to get in this, in more divide. Yes, we're going to get into this, all right? Bioware says that free-to-play games don't supplant great top-quality premium subscription games. That's bullshit. All right, we've seen this. We did this DCUO. It's bullshit. All right, how many games in the past decade went pay to play and crashed and burned? Don't sit here and say if you pay, it's automatically quality. You can't do that. The reason why BioWare is doing this is because they want your money. Understand they are putting the bug out there, gamers. I have shown you time and time again. It does not matter if it's pay to play or free to play. If a game is quality, it will survive. Regardless, it will survive by the fan base. That's what it comes down to. This has nothing to do with models. And like I said, you can't keep taking sides. This is what they're doing, all right? And you guys sent me mail saying, well, have you seen what they've been saying on DC Universe? All these guys are acting elitist because they pay for the game as opposed to the people who want to play free to play. So now they're treating them bad. That's not all right? Because BioWare now is saying there may be a Mass Effect MMO. You never know, all right? So they're putting a bug out there that, hey, fuck you, pay me. They're going to sit here and put that in your head. That's right. Put it in your head that this is what you need to do. You need to pay them monthly because of this. It doesn't work here. And you DCUO guys, like I said, when people sent me stuff, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You really should. And why the hell are you bugging me anyway, all right? You're sitting here saying, oh, DCUO, you think it's really going to survive on free to play? And you know what? All your posts that said that, this is pretty much how I translated it. And then you go on and say, you're dead serious. So I'm like, it's pathetic that gamers would act like this towards other gamers. All I did with DCO was tell you the truth and tell you what the company was doing. If anything, you should be mad, not at me, you should be mad at the company for stringing you along and then embarrassing you later. But that's too much like right, because you're up the company's ass so much. Well, since you guys are up the company's ass so much, why don't you just form a human centipede and let the bullshit roll straight down? This makes no sense. But we have more divide, people. We have more. That's right. Understand this. They say, PC guys, console ports are not worth it. This says Jonathan Blow. He says, he goes on to talk about how the PC community and how the developers do for PC, how they do certain tricks of the trade and how it doesn't work on consoles because apparently consoles are 5 years out of date. Now we all know at PCs you got to constantly keep updating them. However, a lot of big hardcore PC fans say, you know, it has nothing to do with that due to the fact that they don't even change their graphics card from 5 to 8 years. Every 5 to 8 years. So that has nothing to do with it. It's just they're not taking their time and coding it right. And the last time we heard that PC guys love the Xbox 360 more because it's completely identical to a PC. That's what we've heard before in past reports. So I'm not understanding why this goes on other than, hey, we want you to play PC games. Now, you guys sent me more messages this week on forums about PC guys, especially Battlefield 3, how PC guys are acting elitist because Battlefield 3 has the better, you know, quality, so-called quality, on the PC as opposed to console. So now they're trashing console players. What's with all the fighting? What is with all the fighting? I'm not understanding this. And you're sitting there and you're trolling and people are getting worked up. I don't understand this. When all these things are going around us, when they're going on, and I'm talking about media trashing us and all this type of shit, why are you fighting with each other? Why? This makes no sense to me. But that's not all. Because I'm going to get into more Battlefield in a minute. But Here's something that may make you laugh a little bit. A 46-year-old man kicked a kid's ass. That's right, kicked a 13-year-old kid's ass because of the fact that he was trolling him online in Call of Duty. Now, the guy goes on and says he's been playing the whole day and he was baiting him. So he was trolling him. God knows what that kid said to that man to piss him off, all right? It says, and the kid would not shut up. He said, so he went on and he just lost it. And he lost it. Now, look. I have to say this because, first off, why is a 13-year-old kid online trolling people anyway? Because he's a fucking loser. That's why, because he has nothing else better to do. But the mother of the kid that he roughed up, yeah, is even better because he tells the guy, if you can't handle losing to a child, then you shouldn't be playing games. Now, let's get something straight here. Mother of child, who apparently their child can do no wrong, all right? Your child is a 13-year-old kid. Last time I checked, Call of Duty was a mature game. So why is your kid playing it? How your kid get it? Okay, anyways, I'm going to keep going on because apparently you have not been watching what your child does online. If he's sitting here trolling left and right, that's right, and then someone, he finally came across somebody who was going to do something about it, yeah, listen up, internet tough guys, you know what I'm saying, because this dude, he's going out to do something about it, all right? Understand that he put himself in that situation. Now, as far as I'm concerned, is the adult wrong? Yes. But also the kid is wrong. Also the mother is wrong. So both sides are wrong, and they both should be held responsible. From a gaming standpoint, that kid fucking deserved it because he didn't know when to shut the fuck up. I guarantee you he won't try that shit again. I guarantee you, because he thought he was safe in his own little comfort, his own home, and thought that no one would come get him. Well, someone found his ass, all right? And now I'll say this. Well, from a gaming standpoint, from their gaming servers or the company who's ever running Call of Duty, understand this, guys. You should ban both of their accounts, period, permanently. All right, because that's not called for. All right, the trolling isn't called for, which was provoked, as he's the provoker, and then the guy acted on it. So of course, the guy acting on it, who got provoked, is the person who's going to look bad for somebody, look worse, and it makes it worse because he is an adult. All right, but seriously, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Kid got what he deserved. Life lesson: stop being a dick. Anyways, and talking about more dicks, no homo. All right, speaking of more dicks, all right, apparently a Kotaku writer gets death threats. That's right, gets death threats over something that possibly was supposed to be a joke, all right? The writer goes on to say that he wrote an article talking about, I got my fashion sense from video games, and you can too. Apparently, they're saying it was an attempt to be funny. However, if you read the article, it seems like it's an attempt to be trolling, to be quite honest. And he got death threats over it, and gamers got mad about it, and he's saying how it was supposed to be something hilarious, and he can't believe it went this far. You acted like a dick and started trolling, so you got what you deserved. What you don't understand, though, is that you don't realize, apparently, you're not a gamer, all right? Because you would know by now that every time we turn around, the media takes aim at us. Video games is bad for this reason. Gamers are lazy. Gamers are doing this. It's always some type of shot or attack at gamers. So, of course, gamers are sensitive to the issue. For you to sit here and say that your so-called article is full of satire and people just didn't get you is bullshit. It's bullshit. It really is. But you should be ashamed of yourself with that because of the fact you brought it on yourself, and you shouldn't be blaming gamers for actually getting serious because, like I said, for everything that we see around us, we're always attacked on something, so it's understandable that they would get defensive. Maybe next time before you write your bullshit articles, you'll think first. Think about that. Anyways, let's move on. Apparently, Battlefield Rep, we're going to talk about this. Battlefield Rep trashes gamers and calls them ungrateful. Now, I really have a problem with this, guys. Now, the guy goes on, apparently, Daniel Metros says that the beta is a privilege, not a right. And this is because apparently gamers are arguing or complaining to Battlefield 3 people that, the beta is loaded with bugs and problems and carrying on. So he goes on to say that it's a privilege, not a right, unless you got the key with a pre-order. He ripped into the whiners, still with measured tone that suggests that he chose his words carefully. Now, number one, you already didn't choose your words carefully, all right? First off, beta is not a privilege. You're trying to sell a game. That's what you're trying to do. Understand here, unless you have legit testers, and this should tell you guys how much they value testers, as I told you guys before, all right? I reported a couple months ago how companies said they don't even use testers anymore. So the game tester is getting ready, I should say, to go the way of the dodo bird, unless something happens here, all right? But don't say it's a privilege because you're trying to sell a game to the public. You need all those public gamers. You need to push this to the public as much as possible, all right? So don't say that it's a privilege. Now, I will say that it is a beta, and the beta does have problems. Well, people need to act like testers and start reporting problems, okay? But don't sit here and talk about how it's a privilege. It's not. You're trying to sell a product, all right? So they're going to treat you that way. No way is it a privilege. However, gamers do go on to say how they were mad that they picked out certain maps that they didn't like, but it is what it is, all right? I think that's a little petty of gamers, but let's keep going. He goes on to say, the vibe I'm getting now is just that tones of ungrateful people don't understand how much we are putting on this game, how many overtime hours we are doing, and also how many meetings we are in to ship the game like this. Understand that you're crying. No one gives a shit how hard you're working. People go to work every day and work hard and do overtime. Do they ever get a thanks? 9 times out of 10 they don't. I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden that your job is more important than anyone else's job who don't get credit. I'm not trying to hear that shit, alright? So to sit here and want some type of credit and say, we're working so hard, you make a fucking video game. Yeah. You could be doing something else for your life. I mean, seriously, you could be out there shoveling shit somewhere. So don't sit here and tell me you're working so hard. Our game, was it developers? Are they pushed to the limit? Do they have overtime hours? Are they not treated well? Yeah, they are. It's true. It's very true. However, if you have a problem with that, don't direct it towards the fans. Direct it towards your company and direct it towards those publishers. That's the problem. So it goes to show you guys that not only are the companies going after each other, and we're going to talk about that right now because apparently, this whole Scrolls lawsuit? Yes, the Scrolls lawsuit. Apparently everyone is saying now that it was set a bad example. Notch has already said he will take the word Scrolls off of his game. However, it doesn't matter. They still want to sue him. They want money. Companies are going after companies. Developers talk bad about developers. Developers talk bad about gamers. Gamers talk bad about developers. Gamers go after other gamers. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And all this, we still have the media to deal with. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's childish. And it seems like nobody is trying to grow up. Even though this guy goes on to say that people should grow up. Well, you know what? He should take his own advice. He should have really thought about that before putting it out. I understand he's frustrated, but you don't do that. Especially if you're supposed to be a professional, since you work so hard. You would know these type of things. Anyways, guys, I want to move on, alright? Because apparently, also in Battlefield 3, Downtime is on 360 servers. Apparently, there's a question about there being buckling on it. I don't know. Whatever. I have to get into this Capcom news. That's right. For those who don't know, Seth Killian has come out and said to you Mega Man fans, we may have Mega Man news. We may have Mega Man news. And Capcom apologizes for Mega Man Legends 3. That's right, they're apologizing to you fans. However, in the same breath, they actually insult the fan base. They actually insult the fan base, especially American fan base. But whatever. Anyways, when I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, well, if you love Mega Man so much, then why did gamers this week send me this screenshot? And I told you before, if you developers and you PR guys, you keep this shit up, you publishers, that gamers will take over the industry. Well, guess what? It's starting to happen again, but the industry has stopped this one, alright? Gamers turned developers have tried to make a Duke Nukem 3D fan remake, but it's been put on ice. Not because the developers didn't like what they saw, but no, because they won't give them a guarantee that once they finish making the game, that they'll put it out for the public. There's no, in their contract apparently, there's no deal that says that the gamers can actually put this out. Yes, so this is kind of sad to see, but I have some good news for you guys, because for every bad thing that I've talked about already, and we're going to get to a little bit more bad things before we get to the good news, but I have something nice for you, alright? Because for those who don't know, the Xbox 360 is now helping surgeons in hospitals. Let's check out that video.
Thousands of surgeries are done at Sunnybrook every year, and success depends on having a clear roadmap of each procedure.
For all surgeries we do today, really, image guidance is a key to helping the surgeon. It's like having a GPS for your car now.
And now, surgeons like Dr. Law are getting a helping hand from an unexpected source, Microsoft's novel gaming system, Xbox Kinect, which turns the player into the remote control. Traditionally, surgeons remember in that moment the information imaging like CAT and CT scans provide, or they can step out of the sterile field around the patient to manipulate the image on the computer, but that means having to re-scrub. Dr. Law says the application they have built on the Xbox Kinect offers the potential solution to that challenge. The surgeon makes simple and measured gestures in the air and can remain in the sterile field while directly adjusting CAT and CT scan views.
You'll see me controlling the X-ray imaging completely without touching or interfacing with the screen or the mouse.
Remarkable.
What the Xbox Kinect allowed us to do then is with a wave of our hands, all of a sudden the computer now is with us, moving with us. The images are right in front of where we're working, and we're able now to bring that computer as if it was the last member of our team right into the working field of the operating room. So by waving my hand, let's say forward or backward, the computer says, oh, you're moving the mouse forward and backward, and therefore, in even that simple analogy, it allows us to go up and down a CAT scan and examine all the parts of the anatomy that we're working on right now.
Engineer Jamie Tremaine helped develop this new application with another engineering colleague and the creative thinking of a friend who is a general surgery student at Sunnybrook.
We're talking about, different ways it could be used. I definitely saw the potential for it beyond gaming when it came out.
Microsoft describes the Xbox Kinect as being fun and good for you. Now, Sunnybrook's application is bringing that to a whole new level.
This is going to change the way we interact with our imaging in the operating room, potentially forever, because it has really given us a new way to work with the images while we're operating without breaking sterility or obviously putting our patients at risk.
With Sunnyview, I'm Monica Mattis.
Video games are making strides for society, making this technology is helping people. This is a great thing. Now I have some more news for the Xbox. For you 360 guys, next-gen Xbox, this is going to hurt a lot of people. The next-gen Xbox will leave physical media behind. That's right. The next generation Xbox will be fully digital when it comes to your games. So for all you guys who have bad internet access, yeah, good luck downloading the game. I'm just saying, all right, and that goes from any region or whatever. Yeah, good luck with downloading the game. Understand, this is like a big PSP Go, and we all know how that worked. Anyways, let's keep going. The Xbox 360 is getting Comcast, Verizon TV, YouTube, Skype, and Bing. They're loading their guns up right now. They really are. Now I need to keep going on. Happy Cloud and AMD are pairing up to stream games to TVs. All right. Also, Media Molecule has admitted that they're not really gamers. Look, Media Molecule, I don't have a problem if you're not really gamers, but I do love the fact that you're pretty much giving us developer tools to make our own games. Do us a favor. Listen to what the fans have wanted, and please make an RPG maker, a next gen. This will do well. Please, I'm begging you. Anyways, let's keep going, all right? Team Fortress D-Make is now available for free. So any of you guys want to play that, go ahead. Mass Effect Invasion will be coming next month. Also, future Gears of War titles will be less camp, or so they say. We'll see what happens. Nier 2, there's possibly an announcement coming for that. So any of you guys who are fans of that, get ready to play that. Zombie Driver will be coming to the PSN and Xbox very soon. All right. Also, in delayed news, Fez has been delayed yet again. Cursed Crusade has been delayed yet again. Yeah, I know. Also, in more announcement news, Warriors Orochi sequel has been announced. Batman Online, guys, is having an online pass. Not online, just online pass, because apparently they want to stop some type of content that you'll be getting in your single player games. Also, there's talk about Nightwing. There's a rumor that Nightwing will be in the game. We'll see what happens. Also, need to move on. All you NBA 2K12 guys, yeah, get ready for DLC. Get ready for DLC. The game is a joke as it is. If you don't believe me, there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube already of people complaining about the online play and how you can't do anything. It was like that last year when I did my videos. Apparently it's been like that since, was it 09? Yes, they haven't changed anything, and they don't care about online. And that's the thing, because when you're trying to push this online team play type stuff, you got to have online working, all right? You're hurting your own product, and you're just banking on legends to make your own stuff. And like I said, DLC is on the way. God knows what the DLC will be. Whether it's more players, more teams, more arenas from back in the day, we don't know, all right? But 2K is going to milk the shit out of you. Now, I need to move on because I have a video to show you guys. That's right, and this was kind of a weird video for my selection, but I still think it's kind of funny. For those who don't know, coming out very soon will be One Chambara Z, or should I say, was it Bikini Zombie Slayers? I don't know. Anyways, check this out. Now, people, I don't know how I feel about this game just yet, due to the fact that I do like women bikinis, I do like swords, and I do like zombies. However, I have not seen much on this game. That monster looked pretty badass though, so I need to see more before I even judge whether I give it a try or not. Now I need to move on, alright? Because for those who don't know, House of the Dead Overkill for the PS3 does 3D on normal TVs. That's right. So you don't need a special bullshit TV like Sony's trying to sell you. Also, apparently they're having some type of problem right now with a female market. Apparently a lot of females are, they're offended by some of the disturbing images of the way women are depicted in that game. Apparently, I don't know. Anyways, also in more news, Epic Games, Unreal Engine 4 is likely in 2014. It almost sounds like they're trying to gear that new engine towards the new generation system. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Also in overseas news, a new publisher is going to target the Middle Eastern gaming market. That's right. Now, and also more overseas news, over in Brazil, you guys listen up. 40% Brazilian price cut for the 360 as a new factory over there opens. So not only do you guys get a chance to play 360, you know, you get a price cut, but since a new factory is open, that means it's going to create new jobs. So anybody who needs a job, I guess, can go over there. Also, in Legend of Zelda news, the Four Swords is strictly local multiplayer. That's right, they're going old school with it. All right, now, I have to talk about this real quick because you guys, when I showed you the article, you guys really stepped up and said something about this. And it seems like a lot of people are very upset about this. And this goes back to what I talked about that guy, about how he was talking shit and how the media gets on you and everything. Yes, CNN tells gamers to man up. That's right. And that games are to blame for the lack of ambition. Really? Really? Where is this guy? You guys, what was this guy's name? You guys sent me this stuff. His name is William Bennett. Where has this guy been for the previous 2 weeks? I mean, lack of ambition, that's why gamers cracked the AIDS enzyme? Is that why they helped NASA find 2 new planets? Where is the lack of ambition? I don't understand this, but that's not all. Because you guys did your research on this one. This is straight from the fan page, guys. You guys said that, you know, he was an author of the book, a book called The Book of Virtues, and he's a degenerate gambler, all right? But here's a passage, or should I say a quote, out of his Book of Virtues. Check this out. It says, aborting all African-American babies would be an impossible, ridiculous, and morally reprehensible thing to do. But the crime rate would go down. Yeah, that's what he's on right now. That's how he feels. You see what I'm saying? So you can't listen to this guy. And the last time I checked, because he's trying to say that gamers are lazy and that they don't work hard. Look, what's the problem with people going to work and, you know, we're having a hard day's work, coming home and wanting to play some games? Games are a hobby just like anything else. Just like sports is a hobby. Games are, so all you gamers, you know, you're quick to say, oh, well, games are expensive. Yes, any hobby you do will be expensive. It costs money, all right? But it's a hobby. That's what it is. And just because he can't realize that doesn't mean that he needs to sling all this mud at people. You think CNN would be bigger than this, or that there would be bigger news to talk about, but I guess not. And you know what? It's funny because since you want ambition, buddy, let me tell you something. There's a study that just came out that gamers make good surgeons. That's right. I'm going to leave that article in the link in the info bar for you guys, but that's not all. No. You need more ambition, huh? All right, fine. Check this out. You can play games now with your eyes thanks to GameBase. GameBase and they're forming with a charity organization where gamers turned developers are helping, and I put this, helping disabled individuals to play video games who can't really physically move. They have problems, so they can play the games with their eyes. You know what? I'm going to stop talking about it because I have testimonials from those said individuals that have disabilities. Let's check out that video real quick.
I first heard of Special Effect when I met up with Dr. Mick Donegan and I tried the eye gaze for the first time. He mentioned about Special Effect and what they do, and me and my friend were doing a skydive at the time, so we thought, it's a great opportunity, we'll do it for them. And then the more that we learnt about them and what they did, the more we grew to like them. And what they do is amazing. A few months ago, Special Effect opened the UK's first accessible gaming centre, where people can come and visit and basically try out different equipment and games to see what they can use. So overall, it's a big help to anyone that is interested in gaming but is limited by their disability. It really opens gaming for everyone. Before a year ago, I thought I was on my own and really stuck with getting access to computer games. I was trying to come up with different ways of how I could get to play, but since then, the first thing I do is look at Special Effect. GameBase is a really cool website because it talks about how accessible games are and what you can do to access the games that you want to play. Also, you can ask for advice from Special Effect, who are more than happy to help you figure out how you can play that game and what you can do to actually interact with it. It's really amazing. The things that they come up with, I can't list all the things, but definitely I think Special Effect would be the first call. If you know someone, definitely Special Effect will help you. And also GameBase. It's a really important website.
I believe, Mr. Bennett, that's checkmate. Because as far as I'm concerned, anyone you go up against that's well informed, you're going to lose to, because the mainstream media doesn't do their research. They don't. We all know this by now. So you can have a little bit of truth and then you just pack it all with a bunch of lies and opinions instead of looking at the facts. And it happens every time. And as long as I'm here, I will keep doing this positively to show you how much of an idiot you look like, or any other media. You have to understand, guys, that there's one thing that we have learned this week. What is it? That negativity sells. That divide sells. That if we cause some type of drama or some type of war, dare I say, it sells. I'll put it like this. Why haven't we seen more funding for this type of system to help this, disabled people? But yet we see hundreds of millions of dollars going in advertising for Battlefield 3. You get what I'm saying? Understand, guys, that this is something that needs to be done. Gaming has stepped up big in these previous 3 weeks and shown that it helps society as a whole, whether it's helping people cope with losses or disabilities, or whether it's helping surgeons in the operating room. All right, guys? So I'm not understanding. You know, I don't even need this anymore. I don't need this. I'm not understanding why it has to be this way, other than because a lot of gamers are duped into believing what other people say. It's a selling tactic. You have to be smart, and this is why I keep telling you guys, this is what it means to be a gamer and have a responsibility to know what's going on. The days of just saying, hey, I just want to play my game, it's over. All right? There's a couple of you guys who sent me messages this week saying, you know, I really do want to support this, you know, I really don't want to support this online pass, and I want to support what you're saying, but this game comes out, and then you feel like a hypocrite. And that's the thing. Gamers shouldn't have to feel like hypocrites when buying games. They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to. But the companies have made you that way. They put that out there. So now you have no choice. Now they're saying you're either with us or against us. That's what it comes down to. And they're saying, you know, hey, if you don't like us, then you don't have to play our games. And then we should step up. I'm saying we should step up as individuals, as people with integrity, and say, well, fine. You don't need us. We don't need you. There's other competitors. We don't need you. And then I guarantee you they will fall. But no one wants to hear that. I'm just some crazy person, right? I don't understand. So I'm very disappointed at just what I've seen this week. It made me mad. I was getting ready to make this video on Wednesday and just curse out people, all right? Because that's when the news started coming in. And I just didn't understand why things are the way they are. When it comes to people just arguing with each other, there's no reason. I told you before that we, as gamers, we're going to disagree about things, but we should still have tolerance towards each other as long as you don't act like an asshole, all right? Now, I don't understand why it's okay all of a sudden just curse people out. I guess it's that whole internet anonymity thing, I guess. I don't know, all right? But guys, understand, what we're doing here actually makes a difference. Some of you guys told me that you talk to people in the real world and they say, oh, you're not making a difference. This guy, if he's not making a difference, understand when I did this, as long as I reached one person, it was fine. It's been bigger than that now. Understand that a difference has been made, all right? This week, I had so many people send me about the arcade. People start going to the arcade now, all right? They start going to the arcade. The business has increased. That's making a difference. You don't understand that. I had other guys send me stuff saying, hey, how can you help me with, my video game documentary? How can, what can you suggest? That's making a difference. But you guys don't want to hear that. No, you just want to stay negative. You keep thinking as long as you're not doing anything, that no one else can do anything. That's very pathetic of you. Very. Anyways, guys, it's been a good week. It's been a bad week. And it's sad because as much positive news I had, I can't stop thinking about the negative stuff because it overshadows so much. For everything that has happened great this week, we have idiots that come along and try to hurt it for the rest of us. Try to hurt it for the video game community. Not the YouTube community, the video game community. Yeah, I know. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm out.
I don't think anyone really knows what happened for certain. Something big, that's for sure. Then the dust and the fumes killed everything. Well, almost.
What are you doing here, boy?
We don't much like uninvited guests.
I'm gonna beat your skull like a drum.
And for now, I am alive.